we have a little special segment called Downey's Dozen. Tell the folks a little bit about it.
I am quite excited about Downey's Dozen. I've done this as an article form on Chat Sports. Hit to chatsports.com/app. You'll get notified once we publish it live, baby. This is basically the 6 teams dozen, math. I did it right that time.
You got it.
The 6 teams that I think will make the playoffs as things stand right now. These are not power rankings. This is more of a future look. And
it's the crystal ball.
It very much factors in schedule and, of course, divisions.
Yes. All right, so here we go. Let's go through the AFC first. Your number 6 seed in the AFC right now, Tom, the Tennessee Titans.
I believe that the winner of the Titans-Ravens game will make the playoffs as a wild card team. Maybe the Titans end up making it as the AFC South winner,
sure.
But I think there'll be a wild card spot. I like the Titans to win that game. As a result, give me the Titans in the 6th spot for now. They from being viewed much more favorably because they lost the Dolphins because Matt Castle's garbage.
Okay, so the Tennessee Titans checking in at number 6 in your seeding for the AFC playoffs. How about number 5? I feel like this might change a little bit in the next couple of weeks. The Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I really thought that the Bills were going to beat the Jets, and I looked pretty bad for saying on yesterday's NFL Daily the Jets wouldn't win a game the rest of the year. So oops on that end. But I still think the schedule sets up favorably for Buffalo. And frankly, outside of the top 3 teams in the AFC, it's kind of a mess. Like, there's not a whole lot else. In the AFC, you got Buffalo, you got Jacksonville, you got Tennessee. The Texans are still in the mix. The Ravens, maybe the Broncos, Chargers, or Raiders get their stuff together. But right now, I don't feel confident slotting them. So I got Buffalo for the time being.
All right, so Buffalo at number 5, and Downey's dozen. How about the number 4 seed, the Jacksonville Jaguars? Tom, there will be a playoff game in Jacksonville.
As things stand, look, I think that Jacksonville in particular, because of the way their schedule sets up, Jacksonville's schedule the rest of the way, I don't want to call anything easy in the NFL, Cam, because it's not. Nothing's easy in the NFL. But this is pretty darn close to being easy. Like, this sets up very well for Jacksonville. Look, they still have games against the Colts, the Cardinals, the Browns, and the Niners. That's 4 wins.
Yeah, that's 4 wins.
8 wins. They can win a game or two, and they've shown that they can do that. Boom, they win the AFC South. And with the injury to Deshaun Watson, it sets up perfectly for Jacksonville to be what Houston was last year. A great defense, a team with a good running game and a bad quarterback that finds a way to win the AFC South.
You know what? I feel like this would be a fun team to watch in the playoffs, and I feel weird saying that when Blake Bortles is your quarterback.
It might be ugly to watch, though, at the same time.
Yeah, that's a good point. So the Jacksonville Jaguars, they're at your number as your number 4 seed in the AFC. How about number 3? This team probably feels like they can get a bye week, but right now they're at number 3 for you. The Kansas City Chiefs here, Tom. What's your logic?
It is very much the top 3 and everybody else in the AFC South. If you guys want to have the Chiefs at 2, okay, sure. But I think the Chiefs are behind the Steelers. Look, they lost a head-to-head matchup. That's a big deal there. And I don't know if I have worries about the Chiefs' defense. That's what has them at 3 for me right now. Without Eric Berry, they've frankly been a bad defense. Not like an average defense, a downright bad defense.
30th.
The same is true for the Patriots, and I understand that. The Patriots have a better offense, though. I mean, who do you trust more? Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, or Alex Smith and Andy Reid?
Well,
no disrespect to Andy Reid.
Ask Maurice Jones-Drew. He's giving the edge to Andy Reid. Just saying.
He did, and he did that right there. But I also give more credit to Tom Brady than Alex Smith.
But it's fair in terms of longevity and things like that. Yes.
So
go Patriots.
Look, the Chiefs are very much in the mix for not just a bye, but the number 1 overall seed, with an AFC West that I think will end up being better near the end of the year. I think the Chiefs lose a game or 2 late. It allows 2 other teams to be ranked ahead of them.
So according to your projections, the Chiefs would be battling the Tennessee Titans, and the Jaguars would be battling the Buffalo Bills, just as we all projected at the beginning of the season.
We all foresaw coming. A Jags-Bills playoff game.
Let's get to those top 2 seeds in the AFC. Number 2, the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think this is a team that has finally started to figure it out, Tom.
I agree, and I hope that they stay consistent because they've been inconsistent lately.
Yeah.
And especially in the middle part of the year with that game against Jacksonville. They've been up and down and all over the place, and that's because Big Ben's been all over the place for them. The defense, though, has been very good. 3 straight wins now for Pittsburgh. They got a home game coming up later in the year against the Packers team that actually no longer looks dangerous. It's no longer intimidating. The AFC top 2 seeds will be decided, maybe the 3rd seed as well, December 17th. The Patriots go on the road to face the Steelers.
Wow.
Winner of that game wins the AFC, at least in the regular season.
Okay. So the Pittsburgh Steelers checking in at number 2, according to Tom Downey. A little foreshadowing there. How about the Patriots now as the #1 overall seed? No surprise here. Pretty chalky.
Look, I am still a little bit concerned about them, though, because of the defense. The defense, I believe, has serious issues in terms of the way that they've played this year. And, you can tell that they very clearly missed Donta Hightower. The offense has been great, but this is not last year's Patriots team. I thought that they could be better. They've been worse, and it's because of the front seven. The front seven has simply not played well this year. And that's going to remain a huge problem for them.
Van Noy, et cetera, there in the front seven.
When you mentioned Van Noy, that's your issue.
Exactly.
He should not be the first guy you mentioned.
It's kind of a cast of misfits in the front seven there. So for the New England Patriots right now, kind of trying to tread water on the defensive side. Meanwhile, Tom Brady still getting it done MVP-wise. So there are the Patriots at #1. Recapping the seeds, according to Mr. Tom Downey in the AFC, we got the Titans at #6, the Buffalo Bills at #5, coming up the loss last night. Jacksonville Jaguars at #4. And then you have the top 3 seeds in the AFC. New England Patriots at #1, Pittsburgh Steelers at #2, Kansas City Chiefs at #3. But it seems to me, Tom, that you could see some turnover here in those top 6.
I fully expected to be turnover. That's part of the NFL. Weird things happen, like the Jets having 4 wins.
Exactly.
Things that no one expects outside of maybe some diehard New York fans who were probably being unrealistic, but ended up happening for them anyway. So there's going to be changes. There's a good chance this changes every week for me. And that's going to remain the issue in terms of projecting the playoffs. But I do feel confident that the top 3 will be in this order in some fashion, be it Chiefs at 2, Steelers at 3, whatever. Those will be your top 3 teams in the AFC.
Yeah, and it's pretty easy to project for sure the way in which those 3 teams are playing compared to the rest of the AFC right now. How about the NFC? Let's check in with #6. The 6th seed in the NFC, according to Tom Downey, will be the Atlanta Falcons. You think that offense picks it up?
I do, and I do think they still need to fire Steve Sarkisian. Sark After Dark is not working for Atlanta. I think he needs to go back to the West Coast where After Dark makes more sense. Pac-12 After Dark, after all.
Sure.
I believe that the Falcons are going to make the playoffs because this was done before Zeke got reinstated, but I still feel pretty confident about it, I guess. The Falcons will win their next 2 games against Carolina, against the Dallas Cowboys, 2 of the other major threats in the NFC. The NFC is much more parity and good teams than the AFC does right now.
Yep.
So I believe you'll see the Falcons win those next 2 games, get back on track, sneak in as a wild card team.
All right, so there are the Falcons there at #6. #5, the Los Angeles Rams. They get into the playoffs.
Another thing I didn't foresee coming this year.
Yeah,
the Rams being a team not just in the mix for a playoff spot, but in the mix for a top 2 seed. They're 5-2. 5 through 1,
Don't sleep.
Excuse me, 5 through 2, and then of course #1 has a better record because you all know who it's going to be. They're all 5-2 this year. Not really what I foresaw coming. The schedule isn't super easy. It gets a little bit tougher. The Rams have had a pretty easy schedule thus far, but all they got to do is win. Go a game below 500 the rest of the way, and they're in. So I love where the Rams are at right now. That 5-2 mark puts them in great position. I'm not fully ready to buy them as a legitimate playoff deep running threat in terms of making a deep run.
Talking about NFC Championship, etc.
Yeah, I'm not ready to buy them yet, but I love what I've seen on the Rams this year. They deserve this spot.
All right, so the Rams in as the 5th seed. How about #4? The New Orleans Saints will be hosting a playoff game this year, and they have been a pleasant surprise, particularly on defense.
You mentioned this earlier in the AFC. As we all foresaw in the NFC, if this ends up being accurate, the Saints and the Rams play a playoff game.
Oh, my.
Stuff we never foresaw coming this year.
My.
But
Welcome
the Saints,
to
the Saints offense, we know them for the past couple years. They've been great. Top 10, top 5 offense year in, year out.
It's that
Drew Brees balls out. It's the defense. The defense has turned them from a double-digit win team into a 7-win squad. This year, the Saints are a double-digit win team. They will win the NFC South. I think they're going to push very hard for a bye. Again, finishing near the bottom last year in the NFC South sets them up for an easier schedule.
The commenters are trying to jump the gun here, Tom. One commenter, Jose, is projecting that the Eagles should be #1.
We'll get to it.
Be.
Maybe they won't be.
Yeah, you're going to have to stick around, Jose.
Yeah, you got to wait to find out.
Let's get to #3 in the NFC standings, the Minnesota Vikings. They have a real shot at a bye week, I feel.
I hyped up the Vikings a little bit. I didn't have the guts to put them as a playoff team at the beginning of the year because I thought, the Packers will win the division. The Vikings will finish, 7th. They'll be the first team out. But with Aaron Rodgers hurt, welcome back, Minnesota.
Open door, yep.
Open door for them. But going forward, in terms of making a Super Bowl, they cannot win with Case Keenum. They just can't. He's not good enough. The offense in general isn't good enough. They need Sam Bradford back. This is a good Vikings team led by a great defense. The Denver Broncos, with Peyton Manning and old and broken Peyton Manning, the shell of Peyton Manning, is the exception to the rule. You got to have both a good offense and a good defense.
What about sexy Rexy Grossman?
Again, exception to the rule there, all right? Look, it happens every now and then. But the Vikings don't have the offense. Now, if Sam Bradford comes back, maybe they do at that point.
All right. So we'll be tracking Sam Bradford, of course, too. Looks like he will be coming back at some point. Not exactly sure when, but the Minnesota Vikings are there at number 3 in Downey's dozen. How about number 2, the Seattle Seahawks? You think these guys are going to rip off some wins?
I think the defense bounces back after a bad game against Houston. Other than that, they've been pretty solid this year. Look, I think that Dwayne Brown's on the decline. I think they probably overpaid for him, an older left tackle about to get a new contract.
Right.
But you guys got like Reese Adihombo at left tackle. That's a real person, by the way, Cam. I tricked you earlier. That's a real person.
Okay, all right. I was
And George Font as well. Like, he is a massive upgrade, totally worth what Seattle gave up because of their current situation. So, Seattle at home, Cam. We know how good they are. If Seattle gets the 1 or the 2 seed, and if they get the 2 seed if the 1 seed loses, if Seattle plays at home in every playoff game, they will go to the Super Bowl.
Wow.
The home field advantage for Seattle can never be understated. They are a different team at home. They have issues on the road. We've seen in the postseason as well. So if Russell Wilson stays healthy and stays upright behind a better offensive line, now that Dwayne Brown is in town, this is a Super Bowl caliber team.
The Seattle Seahawks will be getting a bye, according to Tom Downey. All right. So we got to get to the number 1 team. Let's see if Jose was right. Philadelphia Eagles.
How funny would it be if I just didn't have Philadelphia at all?
That would be hilarious. That was actually Tom.
That would not be hilarious. That would be really bad.
I was thinking about saying, like, Tom, all right, Dallas Cowboys at number 1.
No, look, Philadelphia's 7-1. They've looked great this year. The defensive front seven's been much improved. They are the obvious number 1 team right now. They do have some tough games coming up. They got to play the Cowboys a few more times. If they have Zeke, that's a totally different ballgame than if they don't have Zeke. A string of 3 straight road games in December, that's going to be make or break if the Eagles get the 1 seed, maybe if they get the NFC East title, or if they're stuck with like the 2 or the 3, or even in the wild card. The main concern around Philadelphia, the losses of Jason Peters and of Jordan Hicks. Those are 2 critical blows. If they don't get those, if they don't properly replace them, Philadelphia might kind of come back on earth just a little bit.
All right, well, right now they only have 1 loss, and they'll be playing the Denver Broncos on Sunday.
Obvious number 1 team in the NFL power rankings, Cam.
Yeah, well, Patriots should be 1. But
No,
anyway,
it shouldn't be.
Let's recap the NFC side of things in Downey's dozen. The Falcons at number 6, the Rams at number 5, the Saints at number 4. So it would be Falcons versus the Minnesota Vikings at 3, and the Rams would be playing, respectively, the Saints. So here you go. Here's 1 through 3. Vikings, Seattle Seahawks, Philadelphia Eagles, Seahawks, Eagles, both get their byes. You mentioned the depth in the NFC, and I think there is a lot more compared to the AFC.
I want to apologize to fans of teams such as the Panthers, for example, the Lions, even the Redskins. I apologize to you, to those fans, because someone's got to get left out there. They just have to. So apologies to those guys, but I don't think your teams are going to make the playoffs.
Okay, and then we have one more time. Let's take a look at the AFC projections here. You got the Titans at number 6, the Bills at number 5. Bills Mafia, baby. Bills Mafia probably loves you.
I love Bills Mafia, so hopefully it is a...
Reciprocated,
yeah,
yes.
Exactly. That's a big word there that I don't know what it means,
Another
but I assume
SAT
they
word.
used it right.
Yes. Jacksonville Jaguars there at number 4. Then the Kansas City Chiefs at number 3. The Chiefs versus the Jags. Or the Chiefs would be actually playing the Titans, and the Jags would be playing the Bills. And then you got the Steelers at number 2 getting a bye week, and the Patriots at the number 1 overall seed in the AFC. That is your latest batch of Downey's Dozen here on NFL Daily.